Hello. I had some folks ask me how I'm doing Ironsworn on Roll20 and, basically how I set it up. And I wanted to talk about that because I think it's a really great tool. There are some other really great tools for Ironsworn out there. Hunt down the Ironsworn Discord, for example. But if you go to ironswornrpg.com and just look around for the resources and stuff like that, there's links all over the place. And there's a lot of great YouTube channels and people who are doing great stuff. So, but this is what I'm doing. So let's talk about this real quick. So I'm on the Roll20 site. I've got the games that are currently going on, things that I'm messing with, whatever I've been. Obviously, the most recent one I had open was Ravenloft Ironsworn because I did that last night, and a bunch of other stuff. But let's say I want to do a new game, and we're just going to walk through this real quick. I'm going to create a new game, and I'm going to wait apparently for a couple of seconds because there we go, and I'm going to just call this one Ironsworn Solo. And then I'm going to go down here and choose a character sheet. You can't customize your own sheet if you're just a free person, in here. But you can absolutely just pick a sheet from the list. So I just do a search for Ironsworn. It's right here. And that gives me a little preview of what the sheet's going to look like, which is awesome. And I'm ready to create the game. In this game, I'm going to be playing somebody with, some attitude. All right, so there's my Ironsworn solo thing, and I'm going to hit my launch game. And, at this point in time, I went through for my Ironsworn game and loaded in a bunch of maps that I found online for the various layers of Ravenloft Castle and stuff like that. But let's just talk about the nuts and bolts of the thing. And let me get into a screen that you guys can see maybe a little bit better. There we go. So there's like the whole Roll20 thing. I just want to look at the stuff that we have over here on the side. Obviously the chat, which will come up here in a little bit. And then this tab will be here if you're the GM for the game. It's where you can upload, other pictures and that sort of thing and get stuff loaded in here. I don't know if I really have, I've loaded lots of pictures when I do the game, but you just want like a background picture that you can use for sort of setting the scene and everything. You can grab something and say, okay, this is maybe I'm going to do a, sort of a samurai game with Ironsworn, which seems like a really good fit. Lone Ronin kind of thing. And there, now I got my castle that I'm visiting or something like that. Let's drop it in here. On the character sheets, though, let's talk about this. I will go over here and I will hit add, and I'll say I want a character. Okay? Their name is Joe, and for now. And we're just going to save those changes. And now we have the bio and info tab, which doesn't have anything on it right now. That's fine. And then the character sheet. Now, this is a character sheet, I believe, that was designed by the folks or for the folks who actually built Ironsworn. And I'm saying that because I know that for the Starforged Kickstarter, one of the levels for that, or one of the rewards for that, was a Starforged character sheet on Roll20. So I think this has to do with that. So there's two different character sheets you can do here. You can do a regular character sheet, or you can do a shared character sheet, which is good for group play when you've got vows that are shared by multiple people in the group and you just want to track them on a single sheet. It lets you track vows, progress, any bonds that the group has collectively, and any sites that the group is collectively sort of working their way through. You can do that stuff over here where everybody can kind of see it. So if you want to, you can make the character sheets private just to the players that are controlling them, and the shared sheets visible for everybody. I'm going to do a regular character sheet because I was doing solo play, and the person who was asking me about it was doing solo play. So now I've got the character sheet up. Okay, if you've been playing Ironsworn, this should seem fairly familiar to you. You got your name, the health, spirit, and supply. If you click on health, spirit, or supply, it will, and ask you for a modifier, it'll roll it for you. And over here on the chat, now you have the roll for what I just did. And I started out with a weak hit. That seems appropriate for the way that Ironsworn usually goes for me. Momentum can be tracked here just by clicking on the various sections of the momentum track. Under the summary here, you've got your character stats, and there can be edited right here on the side. So I will go through and I will do a character that I would almost never do because I'm just bad at them. But we'll make we'll make Shadow 3. My Edge is 2, Wits 2, Heart and Iron 1. This character fills me with pain and agita, and I would be very bad at them. But if you wanted to play the Killer Ninja Assassin, who's bad with people, that one just, okay. Anyway, you hit apply. There, now you've got your stats up. You've got a nice failure tracker here. You can just click on that to mark down how far you're going with your failure track. Mine will fill up really quickly. And here you can write your vows. You write down your vow. You can track your threat. If you want to, you can hit the little menace thing and it tracks the menace from the threat. And you can show what level the vow is at. And then when you mark progress, this is very smart. If you mark progress on a troublesome, it fills in 3 boxes. It knows to do that. If you hit formidable and you hit mark, it only fills in 1 box. An epic and you hit mark, it just does 1 little slash. So it handles all that. You can clear this. You can hit the fulfill button and it will check it and see if you succeeded. Handles all that for you. You can do it all manually, but this does that. So it handles all the vows, and down here you can check any debilities that your character has, which will magically go back up and limit your momentum bar appropriately, depending on what you... So if you're wearing armor and you're encumbered, it'll automatically make your max momentum 9, that kind of thing. So that's most of the main character sheet. Over here you can do your assets. You hit Assets tab and hit add, and then you can just select the type of asset that you're adding. Let's say we want to add a path, and are we going to do ninja? Some kind of ninja? Let's say we want to do a infiltrator. Yeah, that sounds good. We're going to do an infiltrator, and we're going to add another one for my edge is decent, so we'll go with well, no, I don't want a path. I want a slinger? Fletcher? Maybe? Archer. Sure. Ninja assassin with a bow. Fine. And since we get 3 assets, let's throw one more on here. And we'll go with a ritual of Shadow Walk. That sounds creepy. Oh, yeah. Cloak yourself with the Gossamer Veil of the Shadow Realms. Perfect. So we got Shadow Walk, we got Archer, we got Influence, and we have our assets here. They don't necessarily do anything. They don't know that you've got this thing, but it gives you a reference point where you can toggle through. One of the greatest things on here is that you have all of the moves on here, and there's a different way to view this. There we go. If you click on you can close preview here, and it shows all the moves, but if you click on one of the moves here, it shows you a preview and tells you what the move is, and then there's a roll button right here. So if I'm doing gather information, it just asks you which stat you're using. I'm an infiltrator, so I can use shadow for gathering information. Cool. No modifiers. And boom, I've got my roll over there. It's still a weak hit because, again, yikes. I have bad luck with that. But yeah, it handles all the moves over here. It's got all the delve moves in here. And in the similar vein, you've got oracles up here, which lets you roll on all the oracle things, it shows you the oracle tables that you might have. And they're grouped by either Ironsworn oracles or the delve oracles, which is great. So you can roll on all those and have them immediately handy. There's a place where if you're delving a site, you can add the site and pick out what theme it is. You can say my theme is, I'm going into a haunted ruin. Cool. And there's all my tables for the domain, which is super. You can track progress on stuff that isn't a vow. So if you're technically on like I would do progress if I was doing a delve, I would track progress over here. I track my fights on the progress tab, any of that kind of stuff. You can track your bonds on this tab. And there's a few settings here that you can toggle on or off. I don't want to see the sites page. I don't want to track failures. This is a very, very, very good sheet. But yeah, that's how you set up the character sheet. And then you can just, then it's just a matter of playing. Super cool. Anyway, thanks so much. Thanks for the question. I appreciate it. I hope that this helps. I hope that you can use this to have a good time with Ironsworn. I know I have. So that's it. Talk to you later, guys.